Hey everyone, happy Pride Month. I'm Jasmine, and today this practice will focus on all heart opening yoga poses. And I will let you all know that was very difficult for me to say. I've done this like 8 times. But heart opening poses such as camel and wild thing are really great poses for physical and emotional benefits. So, physical, it helps improving your posture as well as help with increased flexibility, mobility, and energy and emotional, it really helps unlock some of that confidence, courage, and you may be open up to a little bit more vulnerability with some of these heart poses. So today's flow is going to include Wild Thing, which is a pose that I first saw when I wanted to start yoga. And I was like, this is really cool. So we will do a couple of variations, some modified poses, and is working towards your more traditional as well. So let's get started. We're going to begin at the top of our mat. And as always, I have my blocks. Y'all still haven't given me names. I am waiting. Okay. So my blocks, they need names. I have 6 of them. So if y'all want to give 6 different names, go ahead and do it, or 3 if you want to do a pair. However, let's get started. So we're going to begin in our mountain pose here. So with our hands resting to our side, knees a little bent here, a little flexibility, and then shoulders are resting, keeping your shoulders away from your ears here. And I'm just setting an intention before I get started through the practice today. I really want to have my heart open today as I think about June 1st. Today is the first day of Pride Month. So setting an intention to be intentional on today's mat with this heart opening practice. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, rain down to forward fold. Knees can be slightly bent, or you can work towards having straight knees here with your hands resting wherever they may fall today. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising your hands all the way up, and then your hands at your heart centered here. And then we're just going to take a step back into the center of our mat here with our hands still at our heart. And then you're going to take your hands still closed and straighten them out here. Shoulders are resting, knees are slightly bent. And then we're going to open up to our right. A nice twist here. Feel free to look over your shoulder if that feels nice. If not, you can just look to your side. And we're going to bring our hands close again, and then we're going to open up to our opposite side here. And we're just going to repeat this for a couple of times, and we're already opening up. You see that? We got something going. Close. We're going to open up again, and feel free to look over your shoulder. Deep breaths also help you gaze a little bit over to your shoulder. I'm thinking longer, but over. And on your last time here, you're going to open up. Feel free to continue to have your arms out, or you can place your right hand on your lower back here and then lift up your opposite arm here. So we have a couple of different variations. We all may look a little different on the mat, but we're all here together. And then we're going to meet back into the middle, and then you're going to repeat it on your opposite side here. So feel free to stay open here or placing your left hand on your lower back and then lifting up here as we're opening up. And then meet me back into the middle here. And now we're going to come down to a tabletop position here. And we're just going to do a couple of rounds of cat-cow. So as we think about opening our heart, our cow pose is a little baby heart opener here, but we're going to start out with our cat. So we're going to inhale, tucking our round in our spine. chin to your chest here for your cat. And then exhale, lowering or dropping your belly here. And then opening your chest here for your cow. And we're just going to repeat for a couple of more times for our cat-cow at your own pace. Pulling all the yummy, all the goodness here in the cat-cow pose. So we're just going to finish up our cat-cow pose here. And on your last cat or cow pose, return to a tabletop position, a neutral position. And then we're going to put our big toes together, knees wide, and then we're going to sit back into a child's pose. Feel free to use your blocks if you have them, if you want to rest your head on the blocks, or you can have your arms in different positions. You can place your head resting on your hands here, or you can have your arms kind of like in a field goal, if that's to alleviate your shoulders, or you can have them straighten out just a little, whichever feels best for you today as we sit in our child's pose. Couple of more deep breaths here in child's pose. On your next inhale, return to a tabletop's position. And then we're going to go into downward dog. So feel free to untuck your toes here, push your hips back and up for your downward dog, first one of the day here. And feel free to pedal it out by dropping one foot down at the opposite side, like you're pedaling your feet. Your upper body is pressing against the earth here, so you're not flopped down here. You have straight, or you're working towards straight arms here, and you can pedal out into downward dog. Find some stillness here. And now we're going to begin actually our flow in our downward dog position here. So you're going to inhale, sweeping your right leg up here. Make it be straight, or you can bend your knees. And then we're going to step into a high lunge position here. So with your left leg on its heel, and then your front knee bent here for your high lunge. And so I just want to check into our alignment here. So with your arms, feel free to hold them a little bit wider as if you're holding a beach ball, so they're not so bunched up here. And then we're going to step into a warrior two position here. So checking your alignment. And then we are here. And in your warrior two, you can find some stillness, or you can do a little pulse here by just straightening your front knee just a little bit, just doing this pulse. And we're going to find some stillness in our warrior two. Flip your front palm and then reach over for reverse warrior. As we're breathing into this, cartwheel to a low lunge here. Resting your back leg down here, and then we're going to go into our low lunge. So think about the high lunge position here and how you had your arms in your high lunge. Very similar for your low lunge position here. And then we're going to take our left hand, place it on our right knee, and we're going to open back up. So think about our warm up earlier. Feel free to straighten your hands or have it on your lower back here, bringing in your inner thighs together. Release to a modified plank here with your knees on the ground. And then you're going to take your right leg and swing it off the mat here, and then swing over your left leg for a side plank, modified side plank. And here we're getting ready for our first modified wild thing. So you're going to take your left leg here and you're going to take it off the mat and a little flat on the ground here, and then opening up with your heart opener here. So your right leg is still in the same position as a side plank, and then you're opening up here to your modified wild thing. Right arm is straight. And now we are returning back to the side plank, and then we're going to lower down to a chaturanga. So your plank here. Inhale, lower high cobra. And then exhale to downward dog. Let's repeat on the opposite side. Inhale, sweeping your left leg up. Step into your high lunge. Open up to warrior two. Feel free to have some nice pose here if you like, or you could be still. Reverse your palm in reverse warrior. Cartwheel to a low lunge. Taking your right hand now, opening up, or you can also have your hand on your lower back. Looking over your shoulder, and with each inhale and exhale, see if you could get a little deeper into your stretch. But also, listen to your body. What feels good for you feels good for you. Lower to your modified plank here. And then now you're going to swing your left leg off the mat. And then your right hand will go up for your side plank modified wild thing. Back to your modified plank. Lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Now we're going to repeat that flow over, and then you have the option to continue to use the modified variations of the side plank or the wild thing, or you can work towards a more traditional. Inhale, sweeping your right foot up here. Step into high lunge. Warrior two. Reverse your palm. Reverse warrior. And then cartwheel to a low lunge or a runner's lunge. So your back knee is straight. And then we're going to open up to our right here. Full plank. To side plank here. And then bending your front top leg and then lifting up your hips here with your arms reaching over for a wild thing. Back to your full plank here, lowering down to chaturanga. Inhale, low cobra or up cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, sweeping your left leg up. Step into high lunge. Open up. Warrior two. Flip your palm. Reverse warrior. Low lunge or runner's lunge with your right leg straightened and then opening to your left. Full plank to side plank. Bending your top knee and then lifting your hips with your hands reaching overhead for wild thing. Full plank to chaturanga. Low cobra or up cobra. Downward dog. Lower your knees. Touch your big toes together and then sit back for a child's pose. Ooh, that was something serious. And we're here for a couple of breaths. I definitely feel vulnerable. That was something else for me. How are you all feeling after that? Let me know in the comments. Return to a tabletop's position here. And before we end our practice or move towards Shavasana, I like to just do another or a few rounds of cat-cows. Always a nice counteractive. 2 heart openers here. Inhale, dropping your belly, lifting your chest. Exhale, round your spine. And do this on your own time or your own breaths here. A couple on your own. Let's do about 2 to 3 more rounds before returning to a tabletop position. Inhale, dropping your belly. Exhale. Return to a neutral tabletop. Swing your legs over with your legs straight out in front of you here. And then feel free to grab your blocks if they're close by. Mine was a little further than I could recall. And we're going to do a nice forward fold. And you don't have to use your blocks, a seated forward fold, but feel free to use it if you like. I know I am today. Inhale, sweeping your arms up. Exhale, reaching forward. And if you're working towards touching your toes, reaching for your shins here, top of your feet, or you can take both of your hands, your 2 fingers, and then wrap them around your big toes here for forward fold. Inhale, or a slight halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bringing your hands to your center here, to your lap. And just letting go. See if you can find somewhere in your body that you're holding on a little bit tightly to. See if you can zone in on that and release it. Breathe into it. Show it some love, that space in your body that's holding on. And we're moving into Shavasana, but think about that space. If you want to continue to send love there, to send your breath, visualize that space. And with each breath, let it go. On your next breath, take your deepest inhale of today's practice and let it go with your mouth open. One more time. If you have additional time to sit in Shavasana, I always encourage you to. But if you're coming out with the rest of us, turn over to your left or right side of the mat in our fetal position here. And I just like to rest here for a little bit. It always feels nice just to be using your hand that's on the ground, pushing up. Try not to knock over my mats, my nameless blocks, I mean. Thank you for joining me in today's practice. We focus on heart openers that can improve your posture, give you energy, but also give you that confidence and courage. So come back to this practice if you're feeling like you need a little boost of energy, a little bit of boost of confidence, and really just a place for you to be vulnerable. Until next time, bye.